My mother's nursing home charged her $3,200 a month for services that didn't exist: premium wellness therapy, enhanced cognitive enrichment, personalized nutritional planning. Beautiful words on a billing statement. None of it was real. When I asked about it, the director smiled and said it was standard care. When I asked for documentation, he said the records were confidential. When I asked a third time, he suggested that perhaps I was having difficulty understanding the complexities of elder care billing. He said it the way men say things to women they've already decided don't matter. What Victor Harmon didn't know is that I spent 30 years at the Internal Revenue Service auditing fraud. Not desk work, field audits. The kind where you sit across from someone who's been lying for years and you open a folder and watch their face change. 23 families were being charged the same fake fees. Total, $890,000 over 4 years. None of them knew. Most of them trusted Victor the way you trust a man in a good suit who calls your mother by her first name. My name is Carol Brennan, and this is how I shut it down.
My mother, Evelyn, taught 4th grade for 38 years in the same school, same classroom, same desk, with the drawer that stuck. She retired at 70 and spent the next 15 years reading mystery novels and telling me I worked too much. She wasn't wrong. I joined the IRS in 1990. 24 years old, accounting degree from a state school nobody's heard of, and a tolerance for spreadsheets that bordered on clinical. I started in individual returns, moved to small business, and by year 10, I was in the fraud division, field audits, face-to-face. People think IRS auditors are robots with calculators. We're not. The best auditors read people the way poker players read hands. The numbers tell you something's wrong. The person across the table tells you how. I retired in 2021, 31 years. They gave me a plaque and a handshake, and I drove home and didn't know what to do with a Tuesday for the first time in my adult life. Mom started needing help in 2022. Not dramatic, not sudden, just the slow accumulation of things that stop working. Knees, balance, the stove she forgot to turn off twice in a week. We looked at 6 places. Meadow Ridge was the nicest. Clean, bright, a garden with raised beds, and Victor Harmon, the director, gave us the tour himself.
Victor was the kind of man who made you feel like the only person in the room. Mid-50s, silver at the temples, tailored jacket that wasn't too expensive but wasn't cheap. He knew every resident's name, stopped to touch an old man's shoulder in the hallway, laughed at a joke from a woman in a wheelchair like he'd never heard anything funnier. "We treat them like family here," he said. Mom moved in June 2022, room 14, a window facing the garden. She arranged her books on the shelf and put a photo of my father on the nightstand and said, "It's fine, Carol." The monthly cost was $6,800. I'd reviewed the contract myself. Room, meals, basic medical supervision, activities. Standard, compared to 4 other facilities. In range. The first 3 months, the statements matched the contract, $6,800. Clean. Month 4, a new line appeared. Premium wellness therapy, $1,400. I called billing. A woman named Karen answered. Friendly, fast, trained to sound helpful. That's the enhanced therapy package. Guided movement sessions, personalized health monitoring. My mother didn't request that. It's automatically enrolled for all residents in her care tier. I went back to the welcome packet, 62 pages. The words premium wellness did not appear once. Month 5, cognitive enrichment program, $1,100. Month 6, personalized nutritional planning, $700. $3,200 in additional charges on top of the $6,800 base. My mother was paying $10,000 a month for a room with a garden view and meals she said tasted like cardboard. I visited Mom every Sunday. The staff was kind, her room was clean. But when I asked about the wellness therapy, she looked confused. "Nobody's done any therapy with me, Carol." "The cognitive enrichment?" She almost laughed. "I do the crossword. That's my enrichment." Nutritional planning? They give me the same food as everyone. Last Tuesday it was fish sticks. That night I went home and did what I'd done 5,000 times in my career. I opened a new folder. I labeled it. I started pulling records. The auditor doesn't announce the audit. That's the first thing you learn. You don't call ahead, you don't send a warning. You gather quietly and completely until you have everything you need. Then you sit down across from them and open the folder. I wasn't at the IRS anymore, but the instinct never left.
I requested copies of every statement since Mom moved in. Karen sent them cheerfully. No reason not to. I was just a daughter reviewing her mother's account. I laid them on my kitchen table, the way I used to lay out tax returns, chronologically, left to right. 9 months. The pattern was clean. Too clean. The charges started in month 4 for every category: wellness, cognitive, nutritional. Same statement, same month. They never varied. $1,400, $1,100, $700. Every month. No adjustment, no fluctuation. Real medical billing fluctuates. Hours change, providers rotate. When the numbers are identical every month, it means nobody is counting. The charges were set, not earned. I drove to Meadow Ridge on a Wednesday, not Sunday. I didn't go to billing. I went to the common room, sat with Mom, talked about her crossword. On my way out, a young aide held the door. Name tag, Miriam, maybe 25, tired eyes, coffee stain on her scrubs. She looked at me like she wanted to say something. Check the wellness charges, she said quietly. Not just your mom's. Then she walked away. Not just your mom's. That sentence sat in my head the way a number sits when it doesn't add up. It hums quietly until you deal with it.
I couldn't access other residents' billing. Privacy laws, HIPAA, all the walls that exist for good reasons and that people like Victor hide behind for bad ones. But I didn't need their records. I needed their families. I started in the garden. Visiting hours, Saturday, box of cookies, notebook in my purse. Within 2 hours, I'd spoken to 7 families. Every single one was paying for premium wellness therapy. Every single one was paying for cognitive enrichment. $3,200 a month in additional fees, starting month 4. Not one could describe what those services actually were. A woman named Arlene, 71, whose husband lived in room 8, told me she'd asked about the wellness therapy once. Victor said it was part of the comprehensive plan. He said Robert was really benefiting. Did Robert mention it? She looked at me. Robert has advanced Parkinson's. He can barely hold a spoon. What therapy is he doing? Over 3 weeks, I talked to 15 families. 13 out of 15 were paying the same fees, same amounts, same start date, month 4. 2 families weren't charged. Both had someone in healthcare, a hospital administrator, a nurse. Victor had left them alone. He knew which families would notice and which wouldn't. I went home and did the math. 23 residents confirmed, $3,200 per month each. Average duration, 14 months. $890,400. Nearly $1 million for services that didn't exist, billed to families who trusted a man in a nice jacket who called their mothers by name. I filled a 3-ring binder, tabs for each family, statements highlighted in yellow, notes from conversations, dates, amounts, patterns, a timeline showing when each resident's charges began. It was the kind of binder I used to bring to audit meetings, the kind that made people go quiet when I set it down. Before going further, I requested a meeting with Victor. I needed to see his face. In 30 years of fraud work, the moment that tells you everything is when you give someone a chance to come clean, and they choose to lie. His office, dark wood desk, framed credentials, charity event photos. He sat behind it with that smile. Carol, what can I do for you? I'd like to understand the premium wellness charges. Of course, enhanced care, physical therapy, cognitive stimulation, dietary consulting, tailored to each resident. Who provides the physical therapy? Contracted professionals, weekly.
Their names? A pause. One beat. I'd have to check with our care coordinator. I'll wait, I said.
The care coordinator never called. Not that day, not that week. 10 days, nothing. Exactly what I'd expected. There was no care coordinator for programs that didn't exist. I wasn't angry. Anger is what you feel when something surprises you. This didn't surprise me. I'd watched this pattern 1,000 times. The smile, the jargon, the promise to follow up, the silence. Same playbook every time, different office. I called Margaret Liu on a Monday morning, Assistant Attorney General, Elder Affairs Division. I'd worked with her office twice at the IRS. Carol Brennan, it's been a while. I have something for you, Margaret. IRS business? Personal. My mother's facility. The director is billing 23 families for services that don't exist. I have a binder. 2 seconds of quiet. How big is the binder? 3 inches, tabbed. Bring 2 copies tomorrow. I also called Ray Dominguez, 18 years together at the IRS, now consulting for the State Inspector General. Ray, I need you to look at something. Last time you said that, someone went to prison. Clear your Wednesday. Margaret read the binder for 40 minutes without speaking. When she finished, she pressed her palm flat on the cover. "This is clean work," she said. "I know. We'll need internal records, payroll for the contracted therapists. They don't exist." She looked at me over her glasses. "Victor couldn't name them, said he'd check. 3 weeks ago. There are no therapists, no program. Charges are fabricated, auto-applied at month 4, targeting families without medical or financial backgrounds." I showed her the 2 residents who weren't charged, hospital administrator, nurse. "He knew who to avoid," Margaret said. "Fraudsters always do." Margaret made 3 calls: State Inspector General, Department of Health Licensing Board, a forensic accountant she'd used before. "We're opening a formal investigation," she said. "Don't contact the facility until we've secured records." "Understood." "Carol?" "Yes." He picked the wrong mother. The investigation took 6 weeks. State inspectors arrived at Meadow Ridge on a Wednesday with a court order. Victor was in his office. He smiled, offered coffee, said there must be a misunderstanding. They took 4 boxes: billing records, payroll, vendor contracts, the database. There were no vendor contracts for therapy providers, no payroll for enrichment staff, no nutritional consultants. Karen in billing told investigators she was instructed by Victor to add the charges. She was told they were approved by corporate. There was no corporate approval. Victor created the categories himself, set the amounts, chose which families to target. The money went into the facility's operating account, where he had signing authority, then into a personal account under his wife's maiden name. 4 years, 23 families, $890,400. He started in 2020, when the pandemic made visits rare, and families stopped reading statements because they were grateful their parents were alive. He found his opening in grief, and he charged for it monthly. Victor Harmon was arrested on a Thursday morning at 7 a.m. Elder financial exploitation, 23 counts of fraud, wire fraud for the personal transfers. Karen cooperated immediately. She'd been nervous for months. And Miriam, the aide who held the door for me and said 6 words. She testified. 2 years at Meadow Ridge. She knew there was no wellness therapy because she was in the rooms every day. She bathed the residents, changed their sheets, held their hands when they were confused at night. She saw the billing statements on Victor's desk when she brought him coffee. She didn't know what to do. She was 25, making $14 an hour. She found someone who looked like they might listen, and she said what needed saying. Victor took a plea. 12 years, full restitution. 23 families got letters from the Attorney General's office, detailed accounting of every fake charge. Some cried, some were angry. Darlene sat in her car in the parking lot for an hour before she could drive home. The facility got new management, a woman named Patricia from the State Oversight Board. Efficient, no nonsense. She didn't smile when she didn't mean it. Miriam got promoted to senior aide. I made sure of it. I visited Mom the Sunday after Victor's arrest. She was in her chair by the window, reading a mystery with the spine cracked the way she always cracked them. "I heard there was some trouble," she said. There was. Something about money? Something about money. She looked at me the way she used to look at students who were capable of more than they showed. "You did that, not a question. I noticed some things." "You've always noticed things, Carol, even when you were small." She went back to her book. I sat with her for an hour. We didn't talk about it again. People ask how I caught it when 22 other families didn't. The answer is boring. I read the statement, compared it to the contract. The numbers didn't match. That's the whole secret. 30 years of the IRS taught me one thing that matters more than any formula. The people who steal from you are counting on you not to look. They're counting on trust doing their work for them. Victor built his operation on the assumption that families paying for elder care are too overwhelmed, too guilty, too grateful to question a billing statement. For 4 years, he was right. The binder is in my closet now, next to the plaque and the calculator I used for 31 years. I don't need it anymore, but I keep it the way I kept every case file that mattered, as a reminder that the difference between getting away with it and getting caught is one person who reads the fine print. Mom is still at Meadow Ridge, room 14, window facing the garden, mystery novels on the shelf, Dad's photo on the nightstand. The statement is $6,800 a month now. No additions, no enhancements. Just the room, the meals, and the crossword puzzle.
Miriam still works there. She waves at me every Sunday. I bring her coffee, the good kind. She never asks for anything. She just holds the door. I think about Victor sometimes, not with anger, with the cold clarity I felt in every audit. He sat in that office for 4 years, smiling at families while draining their savings, and he thought no one would ever sit across from him and open a folder. And I think about Miriam, $25, $14 an hour, more courage than anyone in that building. She couldn't fight Victor. She didn't have the tools, but she found someone who did, and she said 6 words to a stranger in a doorway. Sometimes that's all it takes. Not a badge, not a title, not 30 years at the IRS. Just one person who says the thing that needs to be said, to the person who needs to hear it. If someone you love is in a care facility, read the statement, every line, every month. Compare it to the contract. Ask what each charge means. If they can't explain it, ask again. If they still can't, call someone who reads numbers for a living. We're not hard to find. Most of us are retired now, with nothing but time and a very good calculator.